I love reading books, it's fun. I often read them with my mum. I like reading to explore. There's no better way, I'm sure. I love reading. There's so many books to choose. Get on board, you just can't lose. Books expand your mind, it's true. Reading books is good for you.
Hey guys, this book was really scary because it brought me back to the days when I was in a mental asylum. When I was treated for my problems. When I had shock therapy. Okay, that was a bit extreme actually. Holy shit. Sorry. I just read this book by Madeleine Roux called ASYLUM. It's the first book in a series of 3, I think, and then there's like 0.5 for each of them. So 0.5, 1.5, 2.5, and 3.5, which are like stories in the past, and these are like in the present, I think. This is a book about a guy called Dan Crawford, and he goes to this New Hampshire college prep education during the summer, and it's situated at an asylum. So he comes there really lonely, like an outcast looking for friends, and then he makes friends with these 2 other people called Abby and Jordan. Abby's really happy and not really an outcast, she's more of an art freak. Then there's Jordan, which is gay and also an outcast. And so in his room he finds a picture of the warden at the asylum from before, and the warden's name is actually Dan Crawford, which is his name. So he becomes really curious and he goes down to like this restricted area where the warden had his office. He finds all these files and all these pictures, and he takes Abby and Jordan with him because these 3 like completely like stick together and become a trio right away and become really close. And so they go down there, and Abby finds this picture of a little girl which looks like this, and so she becomes obsessed with this girl because she takes the picture with her and she keeps drawing drawings of her and all these like scary drawings. And Jordan starts having nightmares where he gets like treated for being gay, and then there's lots of weird things happening to Dan as well, like he gets threatening messages. And all these weird things are happening in the college prep school, also the asylum. So as these friends like start to get obsessed with these ideas and they get infiltrated by the asylum and these ideas come to their mind, the friends kind of like drift apart. And that's how far I'll go with telling you guys, but it's a really interesting story. I actually read 50 pages of this one before, and I didn't get that far because the first 50 pages are not interesting. And so I just continued where I left off, but it wasn't really necessary to read those again, even though I didn't remember, because it always refers to what happens in the past, which makes it really clear to follow. There's also loads of pictures in it that actually exist, that comes from different places, and it says where they came from in the back. I think it's kind of fun where the author has had all these pictures and has created their own story out of this. The book is good, and I think in the beginning I thought it was more like a mystery crime sort of thing, I guess, but in the end it kind of turns out supernatural, which is really confusing because I don't like it when a book switches genre at the end, because it makes it hard to like even predict what's close to like the mystery solution, if you know what I mean. My favorite characters in this are probably Abby, because she has this dark side where she draws all these pictures and scary things. She draws these pictures, which is really scary, and there was a time where I drew like a lot of scary pictures too, where she has this dark side which is sort of hidden, and then she has this happy side, and I sort of like that she has all these secrets and she's an art freak, but she's also so happy and easy to talk to, which I really like. I'm just gonna read a part of the book because this really explains why I like Abby so much. And there's this part when she can't sleep at night, she thinks about being a tree, and so she says, "You picture individual roots. Picture them moving down through the soil, going deeper and deeper, focusing on each one after another. Down, down, cool and safe and surrounded. Every root moving through the earth, shifting the dirt, getting stronger." So I kind of thought that was pretty because she has this mind that I just enjoy like getting into, and I want to know more about her. I also like Dan a lot, the main person, but only because when we enter his mind, it's sort of like you get really obsessed with what he's obsessed with. So if he's obsessed with this asylum, you're obsessed with this asylum too, and I think that's what makes it so gripping, because I only read this book in like 3 days. And so he has these memory gaps where he thought he fell asleep, but he actually blacked out. And I guess I can sort of relate to that because in the past I've had memory gaps before where I don't remember what happened. And when people start questioning you what happened in those memory gaps, you get really lost and confused, and you start questioning like whether you're sane, if your friends are sane, or you know, like that sort of thing. It actually has this like teenage flair to it, as well as the mysteries and the teenage part of it. It's not exactly like a super special book. If you're not considering if you're sane or insane at some point in your life, then like, are you even human? I think that's part of it. I don't think there's much I can say about the book. It's just like a supernatural mystery sort of thing. It really touches on just getting familiar with the characters and what's happening. So I think a lot of people can relate to what the characters are going through, but not in the extreme sense. Like there's a scene where Abby finds out something about this girl in the picture, and everything she says to her friends just put her down, and they say she's being ridiculous and they leave her out. Everyone has been in that situation where your friends don't want to listen. They say you're being ridiculous. And that's really, really hurtful. To some extent, your friends will be there for you even though they don't really believe what you're saying. Like, they're going to be there for you because they know it means a lot to you. And at the same time, you know your friends need to be honest. This line between those two is really hard to define, both for the person being feeling attacked and for the others just feeling like they need to help. So I guess that's just like one scene that I've thought a little bit about. Otherwise, this is a regular book. The ending's not too good, but I think that's because there's more books. If you guys want a tutorial, my insane makeup, then please, I'd love to do a tutorial on this because I had really fun with it. As well as this tattoo thing. I have like a whole tattoo collection. Reflect on insanity because it's a really interesting topic. You can talk about insanity with me as much as you want.
All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know.